Good morning everyone. How y'all doing? So, the title I have right now is like Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Okay? So y'all already know about like Wizard of Oz. First, I'm sorry. Hope y'all have an amazing day. But y'all know how like the Wizard of Oz and the Wiz. And basically it's about Dorothy going down this road, basically, killing the evil witch by accident. She really wasn't trying at the beginning, but it happened. And you got the Scarecrow, you got the Iron Man, the Tin Man, and you got the Lion, and you got Toto. Okay, so she's going down this golden road, or this road, and she's trying to get to the wizard. Okay, she's trying to get to this wizard because she want to get back home. And the process, when she meets the Lion, the Scarecrow, and the Tin Man, all of them want something. They all need something in their lives, and the fact that everything they needed, they end up had to overcome in the process before they even got to the wizard. And when they got to the wizard, you realize that, hold on, this is a phony. This is a fake. This is a fraud. And the thing about life is this: a lot of times in life, we're trying to get to something that's not real. We're trying to put our energy into something that is not real, and we forget ourselves. We forget the energy within ourselves. We forget the love within ourselves. We forget that we can overcome. Like I've said before, everything you need to be successful is within you. You have the strength within yourself, but a lot of times we put that strength in other people. We put that knowledge in other people. We put that determination in other people. Now, on some situations, some people are very convincing at what they do, and that's how they can get to a higher level. It's not so much that they don't have fears. It's the fact that they just believe in themselves despite the fears that they go through every single day. So, basically, the reason why I'm having this message is I know some of y'all are like, how can you tell if you leveling up? How can you tell you going to another level or a different dimension or however like that? Different ways. So it's like a ladder. Today you can go up to a new level. Tomorrow you can come back down 2 levels. But the levels are different for different things. It can be for your personal growth as who you are, loving yourself. It could be a level when it comes to family. It could be a level when it comes to friends. It could be level to your personal success. It's different things. In order to really fully get into heaven, you got to be on the same level across the board. You cannot be like, you can be happy at one part, but then what's going to happen is the other part of your life is going to cause chaos. In order to get into heaven, you got to be aligned all the way across the board. You have to keep the same frequency all the way across the board. Now, when it says like with frequency, you think, well, that's just a straight line. No, frequencies can still elevate and flow. But the thing is, it's like you bob and weaving. You know where to bob, where to weave at, and that's how you can be able to handle certain things. Okay, so the best way I can say it like this for myself: how did I figure out what was going on with me? Well, you can't stay on the phone all day long. You can't watch TV all day long. And I know for myself in this current situation, I'm staring at my phone just about all day long, but it's part of my purpose. It's certain things that I gotta see. Now, I can get off the phone if I want to, but some things it's like it's stuff that is part of my purpose that I'm doing. Will I be like this forever? No, because once I get to this next point, I probably won't even have a phone. That's kind of where my brain is at, because it ain't that serious for me. However, in this process, how did I know? I got to the point that I wasn't focusing on the phone all day. I wasn't focusing on the internet all day. I wasn't focusing on everybody else all day. I literally got up and looked around my surroundings. Pay attention to everything around you. Okay? You have to acknowledge what's around you. You are the main character in your life. You need to know when your background is being changed. You need to know when your surroundings is being changed. You need to know when there's new characters, extras. You need to know when there's like things that's not being right. You need to know when the script is being changed. That's what happened. I started paying attention. I paid attention to a lot of stuff. So when it came to family, I paid attention to how to communicate with me. whenever I saw certain things and my spirit was like, something's off, duly noted, let me put that in my bank. When it came to disagreements, I would try to handle things a certain way. If that didn't work, my spirit say, try this, try that. That didn't work. Okay, pay attention. All right, because if you stood up and said something and they looked down at you and you got quiet and they looked down at you, this is not a you thing. This is a them thing. So pay attention. Now you know that they trying to play mind games with you. That's how I figured out a lot of stuff. When it came to different things, if I did look at something on social media, I need y'all to know this. Yes, need. All right. So right now, I am standing in the yard doing a video. You know how many people in the world doing that right now? A lot. Don't matter if it's in the daytime, noon, or night. Someone is in their yard doing exactly what I'm doing, moving the same way I'm moving, and all of that right now. All of this. Somebody's doing all of this right now. Okay, they could be on the phone, it could be on the tablet or whatever, right? This is how this operates. So, right now, you could be seeing me on the news right now, right? And this is who it is. But then at the same time, the way the world can operate is this. Now, when it comes to me, I'm the only me. However, when it comes to news, today you can see me. Tomorrow, if you go, like, how can I say it? You know how like YouTube, you have like, oh, this video was 8 months ago, it was a year ago, and this and that, right? Well, the next time you come back, it could be a whole different person saying the same thing, looking the same way, acting the same way. Okay, you have to know which is real and which is fake. Okay, you have to know what's the truth and what's the lie. Now, I know you're like, how in the heck is that possible? So let's change it up. Right now, they got different celebrities going through relationship problems right now, right? Right. So, right now, you seeing them, but somewhere else in the world, it's a whole nother couple going through the same exact thing, okay? This is how you know when you're changing levels, because when you look back at that situation, you're like, why does I thought that was such and such in them? Or another way to put it, because I feel like that's kind of confusing. Let's put it like this. You put something down on the table. Ain't nobody in the house. And you put something down on the table. And then you go back, go do something. You come back and the thing is not on the table. That's how sometimes you can tell you are jumping timelines, okay? Because what you had at one point is in a different point. So now when you go back, you realize, hold on, it was on the bed the whole time. Nah, it wasn't on the bed. Because your mental has jumped to another timeline, now you in a different situation. You in a different dimension, you different position. So a lot of times when y'all forgetting stuff, it's not the fact that you forgetting. You have jumped a different timeline, so the item is in a different spot than what it was. That's why you get confused. That's why you get to that point like, I don't know what the heck I was doing. And you got to go back to where you started at and start the skit all over again. Okay? Again, you the character. You the main character. And how many times y'all sit back and watch actors or actresses have to do the scene over again? Because the first take didn't go the way they wanted, so they had to do it better. That's how it goes. I know it still sounds a little confusing, because even me saying it sounds a little confusing, but it's the best way I can say it at this moment. So, in life, you're going to start noticing that's no different than you say you have a conversation with somebody and say, hey, we're going to go to this event tomorrow. And the person is like, yeah, we're going to go. But then the next day, you come back and be like, you got your stuff ready for the event? What event? What are you talking about? I know we just had that conversation and you told me you was going to this event. What are you talking about? You ain't talked to me? Yes, I did. I did talk to you yesterday. I know for a fact I talked to you and I asked you. I said, you going to this event? It's going to be down the street and we're going to be there at 5 o'clock. You said you're going to meet me there at 5 o'clock. I don't remember that conversation because you jumped timelines. We are all in different dimensions, okay? So say, for example, another way of explaining it is like this. If you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you're going to work, but for some reason I tell you to stay, to make a left, don't go the normal way to work, go the back road because there's going to be a traffic jam. You decide to go the back road. You listen to me. You jumped the timeline. Because you listened to me, you jumped that timeline. So you changed the energy. Now, if you didn't listen to me, you got up and you say, you know what, nah, I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to just go this route. You go down the route, you get in a car accident. Now, that's how it goes. So back to that same scenario. Again, you talking to your friend. We're going to go at this event and we're going to be there at 5 o'clock. All right. If you didn't listen, if you didn't listen to me and you got in that car accident, that person don't remember that conversation. However, if you listen to me and you follow what I said, now the person remember the 5 o'clock appointment that you had to go to. It's like that. I know it's a lot, but it's literally, it's that simple. And I know you're like, that is not simple. It is. More of the story, listen to me. If my spirit tell you to do something, I advise you to do it. Because the more you listen to me, the more you level up. The less you listen to me, the more you either stay stagnant or you go down. That's no different than friendships. When you're talking to people and you communicating with people, if I say this person is not a good friend, you might need to back off. You listen to me, now you level up. Now you know how to discern. So whenever you go around people with that type of personality, you know, okay, I don't need to be around those type of people. I need to go this route. You have to use discernment. Now, there are going to be times and situations where you might talk to someone that might remind you of the person. But the thing about it is, it could be a test. And what I mean a test is like this. That person could be going through the same situation. So say, for example, a past relationship, they was a cheater. They was a cheater in their past relationship. And now y'all end up talking. But you know what it feel like to be cheated on. But then you found out the person you're talking to has a reputation of cheating, okay? This person did the work to fix themselves, right? They did the work to fix themselves. And you told them, hey, since I went through that before, these are my standards and these are my boundaries. I ain't going down that road again. And they like, I get it, I understand. Like, I screwed up, I messed up in the last relationship, but I'm ready to start over. I'm ready to do right by you. Cool, bet. We're talking. But the thing about it is this. That doesn't mean that person ain't going to try certain things, because even though they did the healing process, it's like a drug. It's like a drink. They still think about it sometimes, right? Because now something new coming in. They never had anybody that has standards and boundaries. So what they're going to do, they're going to have that moment where I want to drink. I think I want to drink today. Knowing you used to be an alcoholic, but still, man, I still want that drink. So what they're going to do, they're going to ask you want to drink? And it's up to you to be like, hey, look, I know you used to be that alcoholic, which is that cheater. I know, like, look, and right now, I feel it's best that you don't do that anymore, okay? Because you didn't know how to, you used it for excuses. You used it to try to take your mind off of stuff. And before you know it, that's why you cheated, because you was drinking all the time. That's why you cheated. So look, now we can do something different. Because you did that, and because you stood to your standards and boundaries, because you knew what their issues, what caused them to cheat was, now y'all okay. Now y'all elevate to the next level. However, if that person comes to you and be like, yo, you want a drink? And you're like, Dad, but you know you got a drinking problem. You know that was one of your issues and it caused you to drift out of your relationships. You're not saying so much saying you saying it, but you're thinking it. But you like, man, but I do want to drink though. All right, let's get one. Let's get one. But you need to make sure you don't overdo it now. Let's get one. That person get that one drink, but they be like, Dad, you want to get another one? Now you're drunk. You're drinking. You're like, listen, that one drink, that's all you need. But I still want another one. Let me get another one. I'm going to just get on. This going to be my last one. I promise you, this is my last one. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, get the drink. Go ahead, get it. Get it. I ain't trying to control you. Go ahead, get it. They get the drink. Now, y'all go home. You fall asleep. They sneak out. And now they want to go hang out. And they go do their thing. Now they back into the old ways. Does that mean they was a bad person? No. It doesn't mean they was a bad person, but you didn't stand to your standards and boundaries. Now, I know you're like, but they should have had self-control. Say that again. They should have had self-control. Say it again. They should have had self-control. Why you didn't have the control of yourself then? Yeah, why you didn't stick to your standards and boundaries? You already knew this person that came into your life, that y'all had a connection and everything was fine, but you knew that they had a demon that they always fight with, and you already knew what that devil was, and you still allow yourself to be able to say, you know what, go ahead and play with the devil. But you cared about them though. You care that much about them that you didn't say, nah, you went with them. You allow yourself to be convicted by the devil that they had with them. And that's the thing. We all have a devil with us, just like we have God with us. But the thing about it is when you're with the right person, you know how to keep those standards and boundaries up, because you're not just protecting yourself. You're being a protector of the other person's spirit as well. Because in this journey, in this life, that don't matter if it's relationships, don't matter if it's families, it don't matter if friends. When you really care about people and you know what their battles are, you're not going to sit back and be on the opposite side of it. You're going to be on the same side and say, look, we're going to tackle it together. I know this is an issue, so I'm going to make sure that you don't get caught up in that issue. I understand that this is the situation. I'm going to make sure you don't get caught up in that situation. Because guess what? Yours could be drinking, but mine could be, I don't know why this word popping up in my head. I'm just, other people have, well, it's all sex. That's sex. Let me think of something else. Say shopping. I don't like shopping like that, but it is. But mine could be shopping. How many times when it comes to shopping, men and female do it? What if I sit back like, hey, let's let her go to the store. I need to buy this and buy that. Babe, look, nah, look. I know we got enough of stuff here. We got enough of items here. We don't need nothing else. Look at these items over here. You haven't been using it. Think about it. You say you want to go on that trip, but if you spend that money today, we ain't going to have the money for the trip. Let's save it for the trip. Nah, I need this purse. I need these shoes. Trying to please. Go ahead. Now you got it. Now when it's come time for the trip, babe, you got the money? What money? Huh? What money? The money for the trip. You knew we was supposed to be going on this vacation. Where's your side of the money? You said you was going to keep this money in the savings. Why it's not in the savings? Well, I needed those shoes. Now that person is pissed at you. I mean, you pissed at them because now you saying, well, you should have made sure that I didn't do it. Well, I tried to talk to you, but you didn't listen. So this is the difference. Now, you know what? I keep giving you keep talking to you and telling you no, but you do it on your own. So since you doing this on your own, then look, right now we need to take a break. Because your priorities is more important than our priorities. See, you in this about self. You're not about us. That goes for family, friends, and everything. So now that person saying, you know what? I'm going to pull back. Because every single time I try to talk to you, you keep stepping my boundaries. You keep stepping over my standards. And you're not respecting me, but you're telling me that you love me. If you love me, then you will understand my standards and boundaries. But apparently you keep railroading it. So since you keep railroading it, then we don't need to be together. I'm going to take a point back, because every single time when you do this, you're taking me back. You're taking me back to my old ways. You're taking me back to my old life. And I know what it feels like not to have. I know what it feels like not to be able to go places. I know what it feels like to be in lack. So every single time when I'm trying to level up, you put me back in the lack mindset, and I can't have that. So if you feel like going out here and doing what you want to do and pleasing yourself instead of us pleasing each other, then you can stay on that level and I'm going to level up. That's how it goes. That's how you keep leveling up. The more you stick to your standards and boundaries. So don't get me wrong. Everybody got good and everybody got that devil spirit. We all have something that we got to be able to have control over. But the thing about it is when you love a person and when you love yourself, you're not going to put somebody in a situation that is going to make them, go back to their old ways. Now, don't get me wrong. We are tested. My spirit does tests, because how can you know if you passing the level if you can't pass the test? But the problem in this world is a lot of people provide their own tests, and then this is how it goes. Now, back to a situation. Don't matter if it's a relationship. It don't matter if it's friends or family. You in a relationship, and you already know that you had your issues and stuff, right? And you know that this person you with is super loving, super caring. They got a amazing spirit. You test them. So you like, you know what? I'm going to pretend like I'm talking to somebody. I know I ain't talking to anybody, but I'm going to pretend like I'm talking to somebody just to see how they're going to respond. Now you got that thought in that other person's head, and they start to look at you sideways and like, what's going on here? Like, I keep thinking that everything fine, but why they keep pulling their phone away every time I sit down? I don't even want to look at the phone. Why they keep pulling their phone away? Now you putting these thoughts in this person's head, and then after a while, that person's going to start believing like, okay, my standards and my boundaries. You know what? I think you cheated on me because you keep doing stuff, acting like you up to no good. Now, this is how it happens. When you force a test, now you pissed. Why you keep thinking I'm cheating? Every time I turn around, you think I'm cheating. I ain't cheating on you. Well, why you keep pulling your phone away? Because I want to. Instead of being honest and saying, look, I just want to see how you was going to respond. I just want to see how you was going to react. That's it. I know that I done this with my past relationships, and I did these things, and then they fell into the trap and all of that. And I just want to test you. Be real with the person, what you done. But nah, y'all keep on. Then you flip it. You the one don't believe me. You don't believe what I said. You don't believe. Hold on, but you the one that tested them. You know you ain't cheating, but you put them in that situation. Now they're trying to take the test that is given in front of them, and now you trying to say that they failed it when you was the one that provided false information in the first place. Now the relationship ain't working right. Now they ready to move on to somebody else because they don't believe you. Now you're mad at them. You're taking heat out on them. Now you're doing all of this stuff, and now you playing the blame game. You blaming them for stuff. And then you wondering why you stuck on that level. Now you wonder why every time you turn around, you dealing with the same type of females or the same type of men, whatever, vice versa. And you wonder why. Because you don't want to provide these falsified tests because you don't trust yourself. And if you don't trust yourself, how can you level up? If you can't allow yourself to trust somebody else, how can you level up? In this journey, you have to sit back and go with the flow. Allow things to be organic. Allow things to work in this timely manner. So just like the yellow brick road, if you notice in the yellow brick road, yes, I think Wizard of Oz, it was yellow all the way across. But technically, you are the road. You are the gold. Okay? So every time you take a step, you lighten up your way. But if you don't sit back and stick to your standards, stick to your boundaries, provide the love that you want in your life to others, and treat people with the ultimate step. The ultimate ultimate love that you will want for yourself. Then don't get mad when your road is not lit up. So in order for you to level up in this life, in order for you to get to the heaven gate, you got to be heaven yourself. On that note, y'all have a blessed day.